Hey, what's up? Hey, doing everyone? It's James and Juan here at Switch Watch, your home for everything Nintendo Switch related. But today with something a little bit different. We got invited along to the Nintendo UK Versus Tournament, and let me tell you, it was awesome. We got to see some really epic battles of Splatoon and many other games. Whilst we were there, though, we got some really cool hands-on experience of some upcoming games. Tell them about it, Juan.
We got to play Smash, which we are really excited about because let me tell you, it plays fantastically well. We got hands-on with FIFA 19, unfortunately we can't show footage of, and Pokemon, that was also awesome, and a bunch of other games. But instead of us rabbiting on, let's get into it and show you some footage.
First up, it's an absolute biggie. We went straight to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the next entry in the iconic fighting series from Nintendo that's coming exclusively to the Nintendo Switch later on this year. We got to play with a range of characters, although the roster on the final build is going to include every single historic character that's ever been released on any Smash game, which is pretty awesome. What struck us here were the gorgeous graphics. The visuals are absolutely epic, and considering the game's not out until December, we experienced absolutely no slowdown. Action is very fast paced. It's a slight notch up versus previous iterations, and particularly after performing a powerful attack, you will see that your character will get up very, very quickly. One thing that's really interesting is you got to play on a GameCube styled Smash Bros controller, and it's actually coming to the Nintendo Switch, and I've got to say this control did feel really, really awesome. Whilst we were playing, we got to play 1 against 1 and a 3-player battle as well, and we got to play with Sonic, Pikachu, Snake, Ryu, and the awesome new Inkling, who played really cool. We didn't get to play many other game modes, but can confirm that they are absolutely here. We also did check that you're able to turn stage hazards off, though we don't know about the granularity just yet. So far so good. I'm blown away by what I saw, and this is definitely the one that I'm really looking forward to when it comes out later on this year. Next up is one of my personal favourite series. Dark Souls Remastered is coming to the Nintendo Switch very, very soon. The game was scheduled for release in summer 2018, so for them to meet that deadline, we're looking at an August release, so fingers crossed for this one. We got to play the game in handheld mode, and the game looks really nice on the small screen. The graphics have been upped because of the remastered versioning, and the controls are really smooth also. Back left and back right triggers seem to be ideally placed when you're on the move. On the Switch, the game runs at 720p, and when docked, the game will actually run at 1080p. As well as the graphical improvements, this version of the game comes with improved online features, as well as the DLC, and exclusive to the Nintendo Switch is an amiibo that's coming alongside the game, so plenty of reason to dip back into this world when it comes, hopefully, very, very soon. Next up is a game that you're not going to have to wait too long for. It's Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate from Capcom, due at the end of August. We got to play this game in local co-op with 4 players and 4 Switches sitting around and battling it out with massive beast, as is this game's way. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is the localized version of Monster Hunter XX for those who are familiar with the series. The game includes all of the Monster Hunter X features plus a whole bunch of additional monsters. In fact, there are over 129. 93 of them are being huge monsters that you can battle it out with. What we can say is that the game controls really well. There was no lag, no issues experienced, and it does look gorgeous on the screen. Playing together in a group was really nice and easy to sync up, so very positive start. You will also be able to battle online with your friends once this one hits the shelves later on this month.
And one of the cool things about this event is there was some indie games on show, and one of those was Killer Queen Black, which I got to play as a 2v2. Now, Killer Queen Black has seen its debut on Steam, so some of you may know of the game. It's had a really good reception and has a good community of people playing this game. It's an intense multiplayer action stroke strategy platformer for those that don't know, where up to 8 of you can play. You can also play solo or team up with up to 3 of your friends, and it's basically a race to complete one of the 3 possible victory conditions. One of my favourites was getting the worker and trying to get on the snail and getting that snail to the other side of the screen. Now, it has been rebuilt and optimized for console, so that sounds really exciting. When what I played of it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. You can play, as I say, local multiplayer on Nintendo Switch as well, and there are 5 distinct weapons as well as 4 game modes. We'll know more about all of the features as it comes up to release later this year. Now, the next game that we got to enjoy was Starlink Battle for Atlas, which is coming from Ubisoft, release date October 16th, 2018. Now, this was really interesting to me because it's a new action-adventure game where you assemble a custom starship, and this mounts to the actual joypad controller. And what's great about it is you can add your character, you can add sort of bits to the ship, you can actually change the ship itself, you can change the weapons. And whenever you change a piece of that, it shows up on the screen pretty much instantly. So I was very impressed with that. And the actual gameplay itself was running really smooth in this demo. You get to lead a group of heroic interstellar pilots who use modular starships to mix and match their unique gear and skills on the fly, which is what I really liked about it, because it seems like there's going to be lots of options to customize this to how your gameplay style fits. And you get to go into a system, star system, to unite the galaxy against, villainous destructive forces. So while the story might not be fantastic, well, we'll see when it comes out. But from what I can see, the gameplay so far is very, very interesting. And I do like the mix and match concept. And I do really like the little toys that you can use here. It does seem to have a purpose and a function. Let us know what you think of the footage though, and if this is one that you're looking forward to, because we certainly are, and can't wait for this one to release so we can get our hands on it.
Next up, it's Pokemon Let's Go. There's Pikachu and Eevee flavours of this one that's out later on this year. We're not allowed to share any of the footage, so I've just popped in some of the Nintendo UK trailer that they launched earlier on this month. With a fully fledged RPG coming out in 2019, I didn't have too many high expectations of this one. I just thought it would be a bit of a stopgap for that title, so I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw. The game sits somewhere in between the phenomenon of Pokemon Go on mobiles and a full-fledged Pokemon RPG. You don't actually get to battle Pokemon that you encounter in the wild, but you do get to capture them. But saying that, you do get to battle with other trainers' Pokemon, and this was quite impressive, better than I expected it to be. Add in the really awesome Pokeball accessory that we got to play with, and I can see this title being a real hit with children, and maybe better for adults than I had expected. And finally, it's FIFA 19, which sadly we're not allowed to show you today, but we did get to play it in handheld mode, and I got a few matches in. For those of you who've been following us for a while, you may recall that I reviewed FIFA 18 on the Switch last year. It was quite an early title to the Switch, and I was very impressed that it had been ported over, but there's no getting around the fact that there were some major differences with other console versions, and some big flaws. For example, you couldn't choose to play with a friend online, you could only play randomers online. Now that has been fixed this time around, and there are a lot of graphical improvements as well as the Champions League license coming to FIFA 19, which is pretty cool. This version is still not running on Frostbite, but I have to say there is a marked improvement in a lot of things. It does feel a little bit less arcadey. You might recall that last year some of the goalkeepers were putting in poor performances. This time around, you have to be a lot more precise, particularly with through balls and with shooting. Now, I wasn't able to jump into any other modes other than an exhibition match, so we do know that Ultimate Team is back, but I don't know what career modes are on offer. This one's out later on in September, so we haven't got too long to wait, and I do have some high hopes based on my experiences playing a couple of matches. And that's it from us today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We certainly had a lot of fun, and it was great to get some hands-on experience, so thank you very much to Nintendo UK. There's a whole bunch of exciting stuff coming to the Switch, so let us know your thoughts. Which of these games are you looking forward to? If you did enjoy this video, we'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and if it's your first time here and you want to stay up to date with everything Nintendo Switch related, we'd love it if you stuck around and subscribed. Thank you very much. It's James and Juan Romero here at Switch Watch. Take care.